Is being in the exact same spot your entire life good or bad? Let's take away the good or the bad. What does it mean to spend your entire life in one spot? To travel the world? A lot of people travel the world to find themselves, and through discovering other places, they discover themselves. But why does a monk sit in a cave for years? Why does a monk stay in one place his entire, well, not his entire life, but when he's truly searching for inner peace and reflecting? Why does he sit in the same place? Now, I'm sure one day he faces that side of the cave, the other day he faces that side of the cave, but it's the same spot. So there has to be something said about when you're in the same spot. Sure, if you're anything like the adventurous type, you want to be on the move. On the move, you want to be out there in the world, seeing new things and tasting new cultures. Why? Can you explain it, or is it just a feeling you have? Why do you think you want to go out there? It's the same thing when you talk about being faithful and being with one person for the rest of your life, with whatever sex you prefer, you know. What is there to be gained in that? Because if you go out there and you try all these different people, you'll decide what you like and what you don't like. But if you stay with one person, what is the benefit of that? My grandparents stayed together, and God knows, years and years and years, generations and generations before them, I think people stayed together. There was that generation post World War II that just stayed together. But nowadays, it's like, see you later, you know. Why is that? You don't have to tell me. God knows I don't know. But it's interesting to ask questions, even if they never end up being answered. But to have the thoughts of why. As long as your brain is constantly worrying, then you can be wherever. Something I wish I'd never heard was the laughter. I was 10, and I really liked this girl in school, and I wrote her this little poem. I think I'd seen a movie or something in which the romantic lead was he was like, I'm gonna win you over, I'll write her a poem. And so he goes and he gives her this poem, and he gets the girl. And so I thought, here we go. And so I went up to this girl and kind of just handed it to her, and I walked away. And I think she must have told her friends or something, because I walked past them later and I just heard them laughing at me. I didn't know it was at me at the time. Later on, I went and because she didn't kind of answer, so I kind of, did you read it? And she was like, yeah. And all of a sudden, I just thought back to that laughter. Yeah, it was hard. I didn't 100% understand that it was really malicious. I mean, but how malicious can you be at 10 years old? I mean, they don't know. I couldn't have known that they were ripping my tiny little heart to shreds. But to them, it was just funny, you know. I guess I was a little bit too mature for my age, writing a poem for somebody, and in return getting laughed at. I guess you could say I was a little bit ashamed when I started taking ballet. Um, I was always an outcast. Not in the sense that like nobody wanted to talk to me or anything like that, but just quiet, distancing myself from people. And then when I found dance, it was it was weird. My school actually had a dance class, just regular secondary school had a dance class for 1 hour a week. It wasn't in the place of drama because we still had drama, but I just remember one day being out there and dancing and really feeling something, like just being in the music. And eventually when I found ballet, it was actually through another boy. He was doing ballet and he was like, okay, so this is what you do, you very elongated and like this. And I was like, this feels really good. It feels like right. And when I started going, it was a whole new world for me. To be in a place where I felt like I fit in. And it's weird because whenever you're looking for the place where you'll fit in, it's chances are you won't find it. It's only when you run to what you want to do and really truly accept what it is and not be ashamed or scared or whatever it is, because it's beautiful and it's what feels easy and what feels like I'll just do this and I don't want any problems. Sometimes like rocking the boat, even though me taking ballet isn't going to be skin off of anybody's teeth, nobody's going to care. Sometimes rocking the boat, you could sink the boat or maybe the boat will go faster. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, the teacher in the dance class, she said, I was the last boy in the locker room, and she just kind of had her hand on the door and she said, Alex, you are a fabulous dancer. And I just said, thank you. It felt really good to be complimented like that. And even though I can't dance any other genre, I've tried salsa, I've tried contemporary. Contemporary I had some luck with, because it's a lot more kind of just like really. But yeah, never forgot that compliment. I just let him take my girl. I didn't. Oh, so stupid. Oh, so stupid. Right in front of me she was. She was there. She wanted me. She was ready. But I didn't pull the trigger. But, to be fair, even though she was mine for the taking, women aren't a commodity, but even though she was there and she was giving me all the signs, we could have, but the fact that she would just walk off with another guy that's all I needed to know. I mean, I think I escaped one there, to be honest, and the second I saw it happening, I was like, alright, because I've been hurt before. And, dang, that's crazy though. Because, I don't know why I was so, chill about it, It doesn't make sense that you would, have this chemistry with this girl. You just met, it was going quite well. And all of a sudden, she goes off with another guy, pretty much. It was her decision at the end of the day. I mean, that guy didn't pry her away from me. She pried herself away from me. But the most fucked up part, I can't even tell you. She was playing footsie with me while she was kissing him. What a woman, huh? What a woman. She's crazy. But, and she ran. She ran away. She just ran. Fair play. Honestly, get in, get out. I mean, I don't know what she's thinking to herself now. She's going, yes, I did it. I ruined that guy's life. Sorry, honey. Another girl was here first. No. Women, I read something in a book. The so said before the most offensive things are usually said. Someone will say, I read this in a book. But I read this in a book that love for a man is the joy of life. And love for a woman is life. So I think in this generation, it's different for some reason. Because it was just biologically, supposedly, through research, that for a woman to love someone, it's like their life, you know, when they love one person, you know what I mean? I'm not saying this is the kind of like 3 month, 2 month, whatever. This is like the one, you know? I'm saying the one. And that's why, like, losing if a man loses a woman, it's like a wound, you know. It's like really hurts. But if a woman loses a man who she truly loves, it's like death, which is the difference. So I guess the way to tell if she loved you or not is to see what, you know. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, because the next question is, can a woman truly love twice in her life? I hear you say yes. Okay. The book said no, but whatever. No, well, the book actually proposed the interesting psychological question, which, can a woman love, like really, really love? And I know it's difficult to differentiate feelings, but can she love? Like truly romantically love? And when she's in love with someone, it's not really the husband. It is at the start, but by the end, it's the children. What was my reaction? It was like a knife through the chest. It was quite possibly the most painful thing I've ever experienced. And I can't tell you the shock, horror, pain combination all smushed into one that led me to desperately try and cry out of the pain. I wanted the pain out of my body, but I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out. The pain was inside of my body and I wanted it out. And I'm not talking about a physical pain, like I didn't cut myself. This was, I have never been more emotionally hurt than when my mother died. It was, I mean, I couldn't compare, I could compare breakups to it maybe, because a breakup you effectively lose the person, but it's not the same as when somebody dies. But it feels like that way sometimes with breakups. But the pain, I really want to take time to talk about how painful it was, because I don't think I've ever understood pain like that emotionally. I didn't know I was capable of that. And as a human being who feels like he lived some kind of life beforehand, it was new territory. And it was very interesting. I mean, looking back, you want to analyze it, But at the time, it was, oh my God, I couldn't, I was so, I couldn't cry. I wanted to. I wanted to get, like I said, I wanted to get out of my body. I wanted out. I wanted to go. I wanted to, if death would have been less painful, I would have taken death. Because I didn't, I'm flustered now even talking about it, because I just, man, that fucking hurt. And it still hurts now. But it's almost like I cut my finger a little while ago. And during the healing process, if I would kind of touch the wound, it would be a bit like, you know? But in the moment when the knife went into the flesh, it was like a... But now it's more of like a... And that's how it goes. But life is gonna just throw shit at you all the time, and life is how you react to things and bounce back stronger, because you're gonna lose everything at some point. And the last thing you will lose will be your life. And that will be your biggest loss. Even though right now your biggest loss was for me, my mother, who I couldn't tell you how much she means to me. It's a bond, and you just don't get somebody who believes in you like your mother. You don't get somebody who you really can trust. But it's interesting kind of trust, because you still don't tell them everything, because you just don't. But like, I've told everything to complete strangers, because it's like I don't care what they think of me, but I care what she thinks of me, thought of me.